But like I was saying, I'm going to show you guys markups, previous markups and how they played out, what happened, stuff from the last session. I try to make sure that I drop you guys the before and afters in the group chat too, so you guys can have it. And for you guys who are not in the group chat with me, my bad. But I usually drop the before and after for everything. I went over this markup right here last Sunday. Hold up real quick. What is this, UJ? I went over this UJ markup last class session. Yeah, there you go. Back when price was still right down here. And I was showing you guys the different ways price might go. And you guys saw that it hit, rejected, went up to this next line, and right now it's making its way down. So we're going to see what it does. But this is from Thursday. This is from the harmonics class on Thursday. What else we got? We got this big old bat pattern forming up. But again, we ain't covering no harmonics today, but showing you guys what we had. This right here played out well. It was ugly, but it played out well. And keep on going. Let's see what we got. I guess we got a big pattern right here. Let me see. Yeah, that cipher is dead right there. It made its move before it hit entry. But this is what it is. That happens sometimes. I can't remember if this right here was from the last session or the session before that. Right there. I think it was from the session before. Matters not. Oh yeah, also if you guys have any questions or pairs you guys want me to look at, definitely let me know. I'm still scrolling through. This one hit the entry, shot up. Well, actually, it missed entry, shot up, and then fell off the face of the earth. It missed entry by like 2 pips. You see that? How close that was. Can't get no closer than that. Let me see what we got. Oh yeah, this bad boy right here is still being stupid. This, I tell you guys, this is why I prefer GBP AUD. I got you. This is why I prefer my my Gartley pattern, because this cipher right here ain't being sexy. There's a bat pattern in here also, but same thing. It's right at the entry of the bat now, but it went down negative for a second. But wait for this bad boy to come back above this. It actually did hit take profit 1 on this cipher pattern, but it ain't doing like I wanted to do. I don't like it. So let me expire pattern, bam. So you'll see what happens with that too. Let me keep on continuing, see what we got. AD/USD. This bad boy is gone. Euro USD. Okay, this right here, I need to erase this off of here. But well, I can stay on here. So for you guys who do not know, this is how I'm gonna be dropping my markups now to make life easier for y'all. Y'all see the numbers on the side. Wherever this line is at, it's going to show you exact color, exactly what number is at. So there won't be any question about where do I enter, where's my stop loss, where's my take profit. All of it is on here. So if it's more than one take profit, what I'll do is just copy that bad boy like that. So you guys know that there's take profit 1, take profit 2. It's literally just gonna be that simple. I'm trying to make life easy as possible for y'all with these setups. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop analysis with it, and I'm gonna drop the lines like the sell, stop loss, and take profit. So you guys have the whole trade on there. So then we continue. What else I got? This right here, UCAD. I got a big pattern on this. I actually got some pips off of this. This trade is going 2 different ways right now. So if it drops down and goes down here, this is gonna be your buy. If it pushes up and creates this pattern, that's ghosted out right there, that's gonna be your sell. But we'll see when we get there. But as of now, the price is playing under this trend line, so it's probably going to continue pushing down. I did catch some pips off this move right here, this downward move right here. It's only 30 pips, but a win is a win. We got GCAD still developing. Buy's going to be at the bottom down there. Let me see. That one's already gone on ECAD. GBP/AUD, this pair right here. I know you just asked about this, but this is what I have right now. I have a bat pattern that's developing, and the buy is, obviously right here at the bottom, but it's still developing right now. That's my setup I have so far on this. Euro NZD, same thing, bat pattern 2. That one's already gone. This one now, AUD NZD. I dropped y'all this last week in the group chat, some point when price was like still up here in this general area. And you saw it came down, perfect entry to the money zone right there and pushed off. So if you ain't in this trade, it's kind of too late. This bad boy's already moving. They already hit take profit 1 multiple times. And right now it's looking like it might sit on top of that and keep on pushing up take profit 2, which is this next goal line right here. So let's see GBP. This little one on UCHF. This is one that hit on NFP yesterday. Not yesterday, on Friday. Went for a nice little almost 40 pips. I got a big pattern right here too on EU on Eurochef, but I'm not showing it yet because I'm kind of not a fan of the setup, but it is there. You guys see the pattern right here. I'm not the biggest fan of the setup. It's moving by itself right now, doing its own thing. There you go. I'm not the biggest fan of the setup, but it is there. So I will actually drop you guys this pattern when I get more confirmation that's going to do what it wants to do. You guys will definitely have it before it gets to that point. So this session right here, right? What I want to do is I'm gonna cover. I do basic stuff on Sunday. I might cover this head and shoulders for you guys too, because head and shoulders is pretty useful also. You see it right there, pretty useful also. But I know for sure. I know Buddha was asking me about gold. He wants to learn how to get this entries on gold. You see gold makes a lot of money, but gold also takes a lot of money. Like I told you guys before, gold can be your best friend, but everybody don't like their best friend all the time. I'm not saying your best friend turning your worst enemy, but even your best friend can piss you off. And gold can definitely do that. That's my last pair here, AUDCHF. And we'll go down to my other UJ real quick. Oh yeah, that joint is gone. So this pattern right here on UJ, it developed so quickly. I didn't even drop it for you guys. It's very ugly, but you guys saw this thing made full completion on here. Yeah, this was from Friday also. The hard push up was the impulse move from NFP, and then you see the drop down of what happened. But I actually have 2 pretty big patterns on here. One being right there. That's your entry for this pattern down here. And again, I'm gonna drop you guys all these markups anyway. So just putting it out there. And it's actually a bigger pattern. If price decides it wants to continue down, there's a bigger pattern in there too. Now, with that being said, I'll first do GBP AUD, and then I'm gonna hit up that gold. Since everybody loves gold. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to GBP AUD. This is an old chart, so I don't know what's on here right now. This is an old markup. Oh, this is a real old markup. But look how that bad boy played out. Look at all them patterns. You can't ask for a better setup. Now this is back when this markup is so old. This is back when I was first drawing my trend lines and stuff on my charts. I was only drawing the major trend line at this point. You see that big major trend line right here? How price was just pushing up, following this trend line. And when it finally broke it, it retested it on the bottom side. I know this chart is messy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually erase all of this so you guys see what I'm talking about. Bam. And the trend line I was talking about just now was this one right here. That's the wrong line. What is this? Right there. Price on GBP AUD for a long time. It was making patterns and just pushing up. What is going on over here? What is this? Okay, here we are. Price was pushing up all the way over here. You see this movement? It was just rejecting, and it finally did that famous move. It broke it, retested it, and then fell off the face of the earth. And that was a chance for a lot of people to make a lot of money on that right there. And there's actually plenty of patterns in here too, but it's so hard for me not to show you guys the patterns. We're not covering patterns today. We're covering, the basic stuff. But as I always tell you guys, man, these patterns, they fall into, they show you where price is going to go at in advance. And a lot of times these basic moves, they come along with them. So they'll be all in it too. I'm pretty sure that was a major trend line right there. That was broken retest. This was a while ago too. This happened back in May. And I remember that move because I got mad because the price pushed all the way up here and stopped me out this trade and then fell off the face of the earth. I want to say it went for like a big chunk. Yeah, 747 pips on the way down. And we had a trade set up for it, but I didn't catch the 747 pips. I caught a piece of it, but I could have caught way more of that. Now, should I even do a markup on this? I'll do a quick little markup so I can see what we got on here. And I'm not gonna do harmonics. What I'm gonna do is my daily level, daily trend lines. You already know how this works already. All I'm looking for, levels of support and resistance. Now, I know some people always have questions about how do you find your support and your resistance. I keep this thing real simple. I'm looking for levels that price hit the brakes on. Bam, look at that. That's a nice zone right there. Remember, these lines is not straight perfect lines. These lines are zones. So when you have a zone, like don't think that price is just going to hit this and stop. Sometimes price might hit it and stop. Sometimes price might wick it, but I'm looking for these wicks of where price stopped at. And this is a pretty major level right here, right in the middle. So now with that being said, I'm staying on my daily. Now for you guys whose first time this is on my session, you guys know I don't go anything higher than a daily. There's no point in me looking at the weekly. If I draw a pattern on the weekly, that pattern might take months to develop. So I mean, there's no point in me doing it. I'm not sitting on here in the same trade for a month. It ain't happening. I'm too impatient for that. And you guys know, I want to say somebody asked me this question too. Let me see if Drell is on here. Let me see. Nah, he ain't on here. But he was asking about the lines and stuff. So when I have a black line, it is a daily level. A gold line is a 4-hour level, and a green line is a 1-hour level. So since I'm on my daily time frame, I'll be drawing these in black. So all I'm doing, find these levels of support and resistance, making it nice and easy. So when I come back and look at this again, I know exactly where I'm at and what time frame I drew these on. So let me do the same thing here. Bam. Oops, I did not mean to jump right there, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Drag it about right there. And I'm telling you guys, you can always tell when you have a good level because it'll hit again in the future, or it'll show a hit again in the past from where you're drawing it at. It's literally just that simple. I'm gonna come back to diagonal trend lines on this one, but I'm gonna do this markup actually pretty fast because I want to focus on gold for you guys because I know everybody want that gold money. Some people are afraid of gold, some people love it, but the gold pays out, man. It definitely pays out. So same thing here on my forward time frame, doing the same exact thing. If you see a level of consolidation on here, it's usually a good point too to draw a level because it's just showing you a point where price didn't want to break through, like right here, this consolidation straight through the middle right here. It's showing you a good point where price didn't want to break out at, or it got stuck at. Bam, right there on the bottom side. I probably do one right here on the top side too. Same thing. And again, this one's gonna be real fast. That one's decent, I guess. It ain't the sexiest, but it's decent. Bam, there you go right there. That's better. Going back. You know, I'm not gonna do every single one of these on here. There's no point. There's no point in doing every single one of these lines. So I'm gonna go through now to my 1 hour because the main thing I'm gonna show you guys today is these diagonals and how you guys can find out what price is going to do and how to get an entry. I know the main thing a lot of people have problems with is entries on trades, when to get in, when to get out. And for the most part, that unless you're confident with it, that entry issue is not going to go away. Because if you never really know about your entries, you're gonna be guessing on it for a long time, and guessing gets you messed up, especially in the markets. I mean, sometimes you can guess and get lucky, but I know you can bet on them lucky guesses because lucky guesses ain't always gonna happen, and luck definitely does run out. So that being said, let me go back a little bit more, and this might be the last line drawing here for real. Yep, I'm not drawing no more lines, no more. So let me go back to my daily real quick. Do these diagonals. Look at me lines in the middle, and look at me lines I skipped. Matters not. I'm just showing you guys these diagonals and how they work. I'm not going to draw a single harmonic on this bad boy unless it's a setup that you guys haven't seen yet, and it could be a potential for some money making. So on my daily, let me see what I got. Let me see. I don't like that one that much, but we'll see. Now, what I do with these is if I find a nice level like this, where it's just only two touches, you guys know I like more than 2 touches. 2 touches is fine. That's all you need for it to be a valid trend line. But I want like 4 or 5 of them joints. Main reason because when you have like 4 or 5 touches, usually it's more validation on the trend line being correct. So with that, so I just copy the same trend line over. You see how I have points all in the middle right here where price turned around at. When price came to it, touched it, and turned around. So I mean, that was a pretty legit angle for that trend line right there, all in the middle of here. That's chances for you to get money off that trend line. It's literally just that simple with these trend lines. So I'm copy the same one again and see what I got on this daily. And this is the thing too. I have so many pairs on here. I might have a pair that's like marked up perfectly. Like my gold pair, my main chart is marked up perfectly, but I have another pair that I don't trade too much that doesn't have updated markups on it. So when you guys ask me questions about it, I'll go back to it and look at it and then come back to it. Let me bring this down a little bit. Now again, same thing I'm doing here. Look at the wicks. Look at the wicks on there. Same thing I do when I was showing you guys gold last week. Just look at the wicks. The wicks is going to show you what price is doing and where it's doing it at. Now I did that. All those ugly circles can go away. Now, when I copy these over on a smaller time frame, you will see that I change the colors of these lines because see, I'm doing these diagonal trend lines on a daily right now. So every time I copy one and drag it across, and it's still black because this is on a daily, and that's fine. But when I drop down to the 4 hour, even if I'm copying the same line over, let's say I copy the same gold line, with the same line over right here. Let me see. Bam, right there. That's a good spot. I make this one gold just so I know what time frame I copied this on. So now this one is gold, and look how I have new levels that it touched over and over again. Look at the respect on these trend lines. And again, these are all money making opportunities with these points. And again, if you guys are wondering how I'm copying these over, just hold down Control, hit your line, Control, and copy it. It lets you copy it right over. It just shows you the accuracy of those diagonal trend lines on there. Now when I go down to my 1 hour, I'm doing the same thing. Just seeing if I see anything differently. If not, I'm not worrying about it. But I will Control and copy and see what I see. And this is the thing. You don't have to see these perfectly. You can literally just control. I'm just controlling, holding on Control and holding on my click or my left click. I'm just dragging to see what I see. So like if I drop one right here, I know I have a point right there. Meaning that line is too light. Let me make it a little bit thicker. I know I have a point right there. Because you see I have, again, wicks going through here. See the wicks right there? Wicks all right here. Like, I'm just controlling the copy until I see a nice trend on there. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go in there and draw new one every single time. I know people ask me a few times too, how do I get these lines so straight? It's literally, I'm just copying, controlling, copy. They're all going at the same angle. And usually I won't do this many lines on my chart, but I'm just showing you guys, for example, how I do this and why they have the certain colors. So bam. That's a decent markup right there. Now, how do you use these? How do you use these to make money in the trades? Like these literally show you what price can possibly be going at, especially if you drop down to the 15-minute too. A lot of times price will push, and it'll push right to one of these diagonal trend lines if you don't have a major level of support or resistance there. They go right to a diagonal trend line. You guys can see that all in the middle of here where I don't have patterns at. I still have trend lines getting hit. Like right here, trend line rejections, trend line rejections, trend line rejections, big wick trend line rejection right there. Even right here, trend line rejection. I probably can assure you guys if I control and copy the same trend line down, not that circle, it doesn't matter right now, that it's going to show me respect right here too in this same area. Now I'm on a 15 minutes, so I'm not going to use this trend line, but I'm just showing you guys that. Oops, I'm going to show you guys that it works on all the time frames. Like this is all going the same angle. I make this one red, matter of fact, to show you guys the one I just drew on here. I make it nice bright red so you guys can see like what I'm talking about. I copied this same trend line down on a smaller time frame. Let's see if I go back and trace it back through time. Is there respect on this trend line back in the past? Right there, one example. Oh, right here, right there. See how price hit it and rejected it? Actually did a little break and retest right there. Let me see how far I can actually drag this back. Okay, it disappeared. So I'm not going back any farther than that. But let's go back to the future. Let's go back to the future. All in the middle of here. Look what happened when price broke down right here. Broken retest, this same trend line. In this same blue circle right here, while I'm making a different color. In this same circle right here, there is, make it yellow, rejections off the same trend line. All in this blue circle right here, all in the future, like this same trend line rejection. I'm just showing you guys that even on a smaller time frame, these trend lines, they hold up. Now, how do I use these to get into a trade? Now, I obviously I trade harmonics, but you got to know a lot of this basic stuff to even make your harmonics work for you, or know how to even get into one. For example, let's say I want to use an example, but it actually has a pattern on it. Let me see. Yeah, I'll use an example. I just showed you guys just now. Where is my Fibonacci at real quick? There's a pattern right here, the pattern I had. Bam. That's a pattern I had right there. So I'm just going to draw it out real quick. Now, this isn't the perfect pattern, but it doesn't really matter for this example. I'm just showing you guys something. I'm just going to draw right here to this trend line. So, and make this a bat. No, it's actually a Gartley. I'm tripping. I'm not doing the money zone, all that stuff like that on here yet, because I'm just doing this for example purposes. So if I have a pattern like this, and my 886 of my Gartley is right here, I might actually extend this down to this diagonal trend line, because I know there's a higher probability that that price is going to hit this and then turn around. If you guys know what I'm talking about right here. My 886 is generally around my area of my entry for my Gartley, but I didn't do the money zone on here yet, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to do it on this, for example. But my 886 is usually my entry, but I have a diagonal trend line right below it. So what I would do is actually put my entry at this diagonal trend line. Now, I can probably, let me see something. That is, yeah, that's a pretty big window. So my money zone window is actually right here. My money zone window for my Gartley pattern. So by me knowing this, I want to say I actually got in the sell on this up here somewhere. I got in the sell when price broke this green trend line. Now, the reason why we're getting that is because I have all this information right here. All this information right here in the middle. Price was on support right here. And when it finally broke it right here, it came back, it broke it, retested, and it retested again, and then it pushed down. So that was, again, another opportunity for you to make money on the way down. It did the same thing here. Another example. I know there's a lot of lines in here right now, but look right there. This is a 4-hour trend line right here. And what did price do when it broke it? It retested it, pushed down. So, I mean, all these are opportunities for you. Just like when you get into a trade like this, or when you're looking for an opportunity to get into a trade like this, when you see price break, like do a nice break and a retest on this, you can do a pending order on this. And your pending order would be a sell limit. So you do a sell limit in this general area right here. Since you don't have a zone right here, but you do have a trend line, when price taps that again and pushes down, you're in that trade already with your sell limit. Now, another example, again, I'm using information from the past over here. More information for me, the better. I don't like trading with naked charts, even though it's definitely doable. I don't like to do it. I like to have all the information possible. Right here, look, price is playing under this. It finally broke it. Right here, broke it, found support, pushed up, broke it, retested it. This is basically all just a retest. Push down, broke, retest, push down. Same thing, broke right to the same 15-minute trend line I just drew. See this red one down here? Right to that 15-minute trend line. All these are just testing of trend lines and levels of support and of resistance. And so every time you see one like break it nicely, and now don't get it confused. You can see a false break. A false break does happen. So don't think that every time the price breaks a trend line or breaks a level of resistance, that's going to stay down there. That's not always going to happen. But just know, if a clean break and retest, it's a good chance for you to hop into a trade. Nothing in trading is guaranteed. Nothing is 100%. No strategy is 100%. I always tell people this because they might be like, man, I saw a price come to a zone and I sold it and then it pushed straight past it. There's a possibility that can always happen. But that's why you got to utilize the information you had in the past to see what's going. And you see where the green box is at. Every time price comes in this general area, it rejects hard. Now, excuse me, the reason how I can get in a trade right here, what I did here was a sell stop. How I got in a sell stop here is you see that price has been stuck on this multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times price got stuck on the same point. So I know that either if price is going to hit this and reject it off hard, but if not, it's going to hit this and it's going to fall off. And so per my pattern standard, it needs to fall off. So what I did was I set my stop loss up. My stop loss was set above this daily level because I know that, again, I'm just using as much information as possible. I know that if price gets up in this zone, this pattern is probably dead. Even though I know it's not higher than my A, I just have a feeling this pattern is going to be dead because you have a diagonal trend line right here. That would mean that price would be breaking this diagonal daily level and breaking this daily level of resistance right here. That's 2 strong points of resistance that price would have to bust through to get up there and stay up there. So my stop loss is actually above this in this green box. So I can then enter this trade for a sell stop and just sell it down to at least this this gold level of resistance, which is my diagonal trend line, which is drawn on the 4-hour. And why is that? Why would that be my take profit 1 for? Because again, more information. Price tends to reject these trend lines. Now, 2 things can happen here. Either price can, let me erase some of these arrows off here. There's way too many. Either price can do this. Price would drop down, hit this, and then go up and squeeze again, like squeeze into this line until it goes up here again like this and then makes this decision. I can't remember what this mover here is called, but it do something like that. It do some consolidation and squeeze in that zone and then push down, or squeeze in that zone and then break out. It had 2 options. It can do that, or the other option would be it just bust through this bad boy and retest it. And you see it was a little baby retesting here. Let me zoom in a little bit. There's a little baby retest in there when it finally broke the zone. And I say baby retest because it's right here. You see it? It broke it, it retested it, continued its way down. So I mean, that was either it was going to hit this and reject it, or it was going to hit it and be like, hey, bam, then down. And how we get ahead of these moves of even knowing that those 2 possibilities can happen is because if price has been stuck on top of this gold level for so long, like being stuck on top of it, usually when it breaks it, you retest it. So I mean, you can get in this sell and up here, we can do a sell top up here, or just do a market execution sell up here, and let this be your take profit 1, and let your take profit 2 be down here at the next diagonal trend line. Because again, the same thing can happen. At every one of these trend lines, there's a chance that price can reject off of it and give you a false break before it actually makes this real move. And if the real move is overall pushing to the downside, just have your take profit be lower than your first one. Hold on, let me do this and erase that. There's too much stuff on the screen. Okay, so what I was saying is, you see how this green one in the middle, this is a level of support. This green one right here is a diagonal trend line. So price actually did hit this and reject the first time right here. You see it hit and rejected. That's why this will be your second level of your second take profit. So if you wrote this down with 2 entries, you'd have had your first 70 pips and your second take profit would have been almost double that. Well, a little more than double that, 150 pips down. So that's a chance to get 225 pips instead of just getting 70 pips one time with the 1 entry. And that's just from this point to that point. About 70 pips and then about 150 pips. So you're getting 225 pips instead of it just being that 70 pips the first time. Now, if you guys have any questions on that and why you do it that way, let me know. But again, all you're doing is you're using previous information. You're using probability that either if price is going to push up here, if price broke this pattern is going to be done. But the fact that it didn't, it decided to turn around right there. Once it got under this point, there's a higher chance it's going to continue down because price has been stuck under here anyway. It only peaked above here this one time, and then peaked above here this one time, just to give you guys a little scare. That definitely does happen. Because remember this, when you're trading with a broker, brokers can see your stop loss. And if your stop loss is like in this general area, they took that stop and they rolled out. They left to the bank with your money. Now, with that being said, Dorian, you got any more questions about that? Yes, no, maybe so. So now, with that being said, she said, no, I'm okay. Thank you. And I know there was a lot to take in just now, and this is a basics class. I'm not going all the way basics, but what I'm showing you guys is just the basic moves of structure and how it works. So with that, what time is it? Okay, it's 8:35. I'm gonna hop over to gold real quick. Everybody's favorite, well, my favorite for sure. I used to hate gold, and the only reason I used to hate gold is because I used to always take L's on gold because I didn't really understand the market as much as I should have when I was in here trading this thing. But I get it enough now to be doing this. And just like looking at this on the daily, this is a very old market. This market right here is from August. Have not updated it since August because I haven't used this chart since August. Let me see how old I can actually go in here. Let me see. You go back to all the way back to freaking April. Let me see how my gold look on April. If it loads sometime today, there you go. Bam. My gold even marked up in April? Yeah, this chart is naked. There's nothing on here except for daily lines on here. That's my oldest one I have on here. I'm trying to find and see just how my progression went as far as the marking up these charts went with gold. Right now I have 5 different ones open. Okay, this one here actually isn't that old. I was showing you guys rejection on trend lines in here, but this chart is naked too. I must have just been going through here showing stuff and not actually like putting anything on here. Y'all was using this as an example purpose. Okay, let me close this out. Not important right now. This one's also not important right now. We'll use this one right here. This is from August. So when I tell you guys that gold, I'm gonna go to my main chart, that gold follows structure. It follows it well. That looks crazy. Drop down on 15 minutes. So people ask me all the time too, what time frames do I trade? I trade the 15, 1 hour, and I do markups on the 4 hour if I have a nice pattern set up. Now you can draw patterns on any level. Just know that if you draw a pattern on the daily, it's going to take you way longer. Or if you see a move coming on the daily, it's going to take it way longer for it to complete. Now on a 15-minute, the reason why I do something in a 15-minute, all these, how gold moves and how quickly it moves, you can make 100 pips on a 15-minute with no problem. You see I have patterns all throughout here. Like I got a pattern right here. This that cipher, that perfect entry that went for 360 pips in the same day. Right here. 300 and, well, I didn't measure from the bottom, but it's 340 and 54. Same difference. You guys see what I'm talking about. It went for a lot of pips. And I have another pattern right here that went for, the bottom of it, 96 pips down. And the one up from this went for 122 pips up. And that's just 3 patterns that were all drawn in the 15-minute time frame. This big blue pattern was drawn on the, I want to say 1 hour right here. This is a very ugly pattern, but it still played out for a little bit of pips. It didn't play out for a whole lot, but from entry, which was right here, I want to say I caught like 50 pips off of that. Yeah, nothing special. Nothing crazy. But 50 pips is that's still pretty dang good. That could be easily $50 on gold or $500 on gold, depending on your lot size. I know some of you guys be seeing guys flip accounts using gold because gold moves. It moves like how it's supposed to, and even when it does something that's not supposed to, even when it does something you don't think it's going to do, it still moves how it's supposed to. I got 15-minute patterns all over gold because gold, again, even if you get a little pop on it, like for right here, I had a very small pattern right here. It popped up for what, 40 pips before it took this long dive down. So you got 40 pip pop off of a very small, quick pattern that popped. Another one right here, another little quick pattern that was in here on gold that went for 180 pips. So I mean, it's so like gold follows the rules so well. You notice that every single pattern I have on here is sandwiched between diagonal trend lines. Like, look at this. My entries, my C points, my A points, they're all at diagonal trend lines. And there, even my entries, like right here, this entry is off the rejection of a daily trend line, and it's sitting on top of 1 hour support. Same thing right here. There's a point where I have a 1 hour trend line. You see the green line right there, and daily support before price popped up. Let me scroll back some more. This one, a little 40 pip pop off this cipher, it took forever to complete, was at daily resistance and a daily diagonal trend line. Like literally, gold, it does what it's supposed to do. It plays nicely with the boys and girls. You see this big, I have a pattern here that looks like a bow tie, and price, and my entry actually was in this green box right here. So price, I was in a little bit of drawdown, but price sat perfectly on top of this daily trend line right here, and then went off to the freaking moon. Yes, 50 pips a day definitely can pay your house note, especially with the right lot size. You get 50 pips with $1. I mean, you good. And imagine you get 2 entries on that. Hold on real quick. Okay, I'm good. But looking at here, I have probably the most diagonal trend lines on Emerald Rosa. Says, I'm brand new and I've been studying, but I have a question. How do you count the pips on your chart? Sorry if it's a stupid question. It's not a stupid question because someone just asked me that, I want to say yesterday. It's not stupid. So what I'm using is this little ruler tool, and it tells you what it says. Well, it tells you what it says. It tells you what it is. Now, how gold is, to the left, you see how it says 18? Gold moves a little bit different from the most regular pairs. And what I found that this 18 is actually 185 pips, not 18, like not negative 18. That's just how gold works. I can't remember back in the day, I was reading something that was telling you that gold moves in the tens or something like that. So basically, if you take this ruler tool on gold and drag this up, you see it says like 28.7. That's 287 pips. And that's how gold registers 287 pips. So if you have, it said it on the side. Yeah, I know, but on the side right here, that's actually says 2,800. Well, 2,879. There's no decimal on it. You see what I'm talking about? So you read it the same exact way. It just move a decimal over. So it'd be 287 instead of 28.79 or 2,879. Yes, basically, take the last number off. And it's the same thing for other pairs too, but they all read a little bit differently. But for gold, that's how you read. Just basically erase that last number. But I mean, you still can get like a piece of a pip on here. So like a piece of a pip. So that last number actually does count, but it ain't the same. It ain't the same as other pairs. But when gold moves, and gold says it's going 187 pips, this is going 187 solid pips. So that 187 can make or break your account, like honestly. But my example again with these diagonal trend lines, which I always use gold because gold just moves so sexy. Now, what you guys got to remember is, again, taking the information that you had in the past. Just from this one section, I'm not even going to scroll back. I'm on a 15-minute time frame. My chart's already marked up. I already did my diagonal trend lines. I showed you guys how to do that. I got my levels of support, my levels of resistance on here. Remember, support is when price is on top. Resistance is when price is below. Now, my black line, remember this, all my black lines were drawn on the daily. This one right here that I just made big, that is the daily level right there. That's a big daily level right there. So by me seeing that, matter of fact, I'll give you guys a perfect example. Let me rewind this real quick. My perfect example is right here. So on Friday before NFP, price was right here on gold. I posted in the group chat, I said that, okay, gold is on top of 1 hour support. It's making this third rejection of this 4 hour trend line right here. This is my 4 hour trend line. This is my 1 hour support. I'm making both of these really big so you guys can see it. 1 hour support, my 4 hour trend line. Now, again, taking the information, look how price has been respecting this 4 hour trend line. Look at the wicks. Price has been respecting this thing hard on this 4 hour trend line. And it finally broke it. Again, this move that some of you guys probably heard of, the break and the retest. Look at that. Break, retest, and rejection. Now, unless you're trying to sit on here and get 500 pips from gold at a time, you can make money off gold just using your basics of your analysis. You don't have to do anything advanced. You don't even have to do harmonics on here to get money off here. But just for me seeing that Okay, price has been respecting this forward trend line. That's number one. So hold on, I'm just gonna type it on this right here. Number one. This is what I look at and what I see on here. That is a huge font. I made that smaller so you guys can actually see it on the screen because it's going up to the moon right now. So first thing I see, one, price is respecting the 4-hour trend line, which is the gold one. So I'll make this gold, so just so it matches. It's actually orange. You guys know what I mean. So two, what I'm looking at, price is on 1-hour support. Now, 1-hour support is my forest green or dark green line that's right here. 1-hour support. So you get to a crossroad of one of two things can happen. I found that I noticed that when you get a point where price comes together at, like right here, that when price comes together, meaning that there is a level of support and a diagonal trend line level of support or rejection, however you're looking at it, of support right here though, price will do something like this. It's going to do like this. Hit it and pop up real quick. Now, more information. Price is heavily respecting these trend lines. So my third piece of information. Rejecting the daily trend lines. So I noticed that every time price breaks a major zone, it goes to a daily trend line. Like it almost not guaranteed to happen, but it happens on gold a lot. And again, I'm just using information from the past that shows me that, look at this. That's this daily trend line right here. Daily trend line. Look at the support. Look at the respect to that daily trend line again. When price broke this zone, where to go at? Daily trend line. In the future, price pushed up and rejected off this 4-hour trend line. Where to go? Daily trend line. It's just, again, just more information. Price pushed off this, when it finally broke this zone and pushed up, it came back down and broke and retested this daily trend line. So I'm just taking information for a reason. I'm just looking at how gold has been moving in the past to see what it's going to do in the future. And so with NFP coming up, I told everybody don't worry about trading NFP, but I still gave you guys the analysis of what I saw was going to happen, what I thought was going to happen. There's no guarantees in trading, but there's high probability moves in trading. And so by me seeing all the information, that's my 3 kind of like confirmations right there. So when before NFP actually hits, you'll see price start to do a little twitching. It start getting a little dance happening, start doing a little dance. So by me seeing this, knowing that price is, my other piece of information, price is going for its third rejection. Number 4, price is approaching its third rejection on a 4-hour trend line. Did I type it already? It matters not. You guys know what I mean, man. You guys following what I'm saying. You guys picking up what I'm putting down. So what happened? Play it out. That's when NFP was right about to hit. Where did price go? It's wicking this daily, it's on 1-hour level, and it just tapped the 4-hour. That is your chance for entry right there. Next candle, it popped straight up for 45 pips. Now, this next move happened so quickly, you might not catch it on here, but that was the first pop. That's a chance for you to make 45 quick pips. That was like in 5 seconds that happened. Next candle, you see that it went both directions, but what actually happened right here was, I remember this from Friday, price went all the way up here, rejected this daily trend line. Again, that's another opportunity for you to make money on it. If you held it from the first time, it went to this daily trend line and then fell off. By you having this information, you could have had your take profit set right at this daily trend line right here, right where price is at. Your take profit could have been set right here. You probably could even cause someone to sell, because look what price did when it went down. It went right back to another trend line. Like, look at that. Look at their respect on the trend line. It went right back to it. And how I caught this move up was just off the fact of what price was doing, what price was showing me. So what gold was showing me, that's all I'm taking. I'm not trying to do anything extra. I'm not trying to even go in here and draw a pattern, even though I probably could have drew on the side here somewhere. I'm pretty sure if I Fibonacci, if I fib this out like from here to here, there is a pattern here. Matter of fact, let me see. I didn't even try to hop in this pattern. Let me see what I got here. No, 1272. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, so my entry box, if I did do a pattern here, my entry box is right here. The big green box. I'm gonna erase the small one. And this is only if I did a pattern, but I actually did not do a pattern on this because it wasn't really necessary, because just off price action, it was showing me what it was doing. So there's a little Gartley pattern right here. It isn't the prettiest and it moves pretty quickly, but this should have been your Gartley pattern right here. And the reason why I'm doing this at the bottom of the box is because this is where my daily trend line was at. Well, my 1 hour, it's a daily. It's a daily trend line right there. So let me erase this and erase that. And you can't, it's so straight up and down, you can't even see the line on here, but that's what I would have had. So if I play it out, I could actually got a net buy too off of this. You see how price started, like it rejected this trend line heavily and went right back where would have been your take profit. It went right back to the previous level of resistance, which was this gold trend line. It says, can you do a horizontal trend line with that area to see if it had rejection before it broke? With which, I can't talk right now. With what area? Why is it so hard for me to say just now? With what area? You talking about right here? You talking about, you must be talking about this zone right here, like down here somewhere. Oh, that's a big old line right there. Let me bring that down. You must be talking about right here. Because I mean, technically, there's a level right there. It's a nice little level right there. You see it? Where price has been going straight across. But again, that level is on the 15-minute. So if I go to 1 hour, level's probably still there. It's still there. It's just not as clean on the 15-minute. But I mean, it is still there. But bam, we go back there. So again, even with that, even by me adding that extra level right there, what you said just now, it's just more information. That would have been a perfect entry on the Gartley too. But even if I didn't have this Gartley here, which I didn't, I still have my same chance to getting the same move just off the strength of what price has been doing in the past. I'm just using what happened in the past to see what's going to happen in the future. And the reason why I did this both ways just now is because I know everyone does not understand harmonics yet, or how to even get into harmonics. And that's 100% fine. I use them and I incorporate them into the basic moves too. And I know prices, I'm letting it play out right now, even though it's going like brick by, like step by step, very slowly. But just showing you guys, like, use the information that is there in front of you and utilize it to get into these trades. And remember, that's okay. Let me pause this. This is when the market just opened just now. This is a gap. That gap right there is when the market opened just now. So if you would have gotten this trade for the buy and just stuck it out and not checked your trade again on Friday, because most of us would have got out this trade from right here to right there. That is, bam, 87 pips right there. You could have got, matter of fact, in all actuality, it would have actually been, let me see, the first 45 pip pop, because I want to say I said something about that in the group chat. That's 45 pips. The second move was 80 pips. That's 125 pips right there. Now, let's say you missed the move down, and it's 100% fine because this move down happened so quickly. But then you saw your Gartley pattern over here, or you got in at the entry right here off rejection. You could have still got another 90 pips off of that. That's what is that? 200. That's 215 pips right there. And it'd been 215 pips just on Friday, just on gold. So you see how easily that works? Like, even if this pattern right here was not here, which I didn't draw the pattern there at all, even though I saw it, I didn't draw because I didn't need to draw at that point. That's 215 pips off, just off NFP move, off the first move right there, the first pop up, the second pop up, and then if you got your entry down here off the third, off the rejection of this trend line. That's 215 pips you could have made on a Friday morning off gold. And that 215 pips, as you guys know, depending on your broker. I know I use Trader's Way for my for one of my brokers. You only can trade with 10 cents on there. So that'd have been $215 right there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, that's $215 with the 10-cent lot size. Now, imagine if you were at a dollar lot size, that'd have been $2,150 you could have made on a Saturday morning, not Saturday morning, on a Friday morning, just that quickly, just off gold, just on using that quick strategy with the trend lines. That's not even using anything at all with the harmonics. Yes, there's a pattern there again. I didn't even have a pattern in there. I got the same move. So you guys see what I mean? Make my lines back then, they're too thick right now. And a lot of you guys are wondering too. People ask me all the time, how much time do you spend in front of the charts? Not a lot, man. This is probably my longest time I'll be in front of the charts on a Sunday is when I'm teaching. I come on here like 15 minutes before I hop on here with you guys and look over my charts and see what I see if anything stands out to me. If nothing stands out to me, I'll just go to my old patterns, see where they're at, see how they're formulating, and see what I got going on. That's one thing I don't do, is try to force anything. I never try to force any trades, because if you try to force a trade, I mean you're reaching. Then we're here reaching for a trade. Let it come to you, man. If you get the knowledge, get the education, the money will come. I tell people that all the time. Do not put the money in front of the education. Like, for real. Put the education in front of the money. You get the education, the money's gonna come. And with that being said, it is 8:55. 8:55. I'm about to hop off here. But before I do you guys have any questions? And I hope y'all were taking some notes. Now, if you guys got no questions now, I'm gonna be hopping off this thing for real. But if you guys have a question, let me know. I know this is probably some of you guys also first session with me too. I try to keep it simple on Sundays because, again, everyone does not trade harmonics. I trade harmonics, but I know that I also trade market structure or market movement structures, like stuff like that too, just so you guys can know. You don't have to just have one thing, but you do need to pick a strategy and stick to it. Don't be the type of person who come on here and try to use every single strategy that every single person like does. At that point, you're gonna end up not learning any strategy. But if you do want to learn harmonics, I do harmonics on Thursdays. It's gonna be the same time, Thursdays, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I teach you guys harmonics, but Sundays I keep it simple, So I'm gonna be out. I'll holler at y'all on the next one since I see no questions pop up. See you guys next time.